All right, my friends, happy Saturday to you. Aaron here bringing you your daily horoscope, some honest astrology for Saturday, the 18th of January, 2020. All right, we got the moon in Scorpio, got Mars in Sagittarius, we've got the South Node and Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn, the Sun all up in Capricorn. We've got Mercury in Aquarius, we've got Venus and Neptune in Pisces. We have a lot of energy in the top half of the zodiac, right? A lot of energy going on up here, which deals with other people, right? This is our relationships with others. Where the first half of the zodiac, the first six, deals with, kind of ourselves. Me and mine and my thoughts and my emotions and my ego and my work. And then this is, my relationship with others, my work with others, my knowledge with others, big business, corporations, the community, and then the very misunderstood, hard to explain 12th house of Neptune or Pisces, right? Which is the everything. It's the universe, unified, where all of this information comes together and unified, where it's the infant as well as the guru up top. Either way, we've got a lot of energy going on and the relationships with other people. And today is the great day where the moon is creating all of the sextiles, septiles, and quintiles here from Scorpio to Capricorn. Okay. A lot of stuff. Just to reflect for a second here, coming in, I never know when I'm sitting here talking about the astrology and on what indeed is coming, the next day for me as an individual, or any of us individuals out there. This is an overall reading, just reading the reflection of what's going on. And I can honestly say this Scorpio moon and creating these connections. And it's funny, I remembered my own words today as I'm dealing with someone I love very dearly and having a conversation that's a very, very difficult conversation to have. And being asked to speak truth. And yet it was super easy for this conversation to be argumentative, and reminding as well that North Node connection to be very caring and gentle with the other individual. So it's like this, the energy, it's just like how this relates to us it's all individual, so I grab analogies and little metaphors out of thin air, or whatever is intuitively being fed to me. But we all, deal with this in our own particular way, and reminding, even myself, that this is all serving a greater purpose. There's a greater reason for this tension, for these deep-rooted issues being brought to the surface, right? That scorpionic energy, things that are from below coming up. So again, we're dealing with that energy all weekend, okay, in our own, unique individual ways, and with our own unique individual people in our lives or situations in our lives. So hopefully I'm grabbing the right analogies that can help you along this path, because this is certainly expansion for the greater good. Now we've got a lot. Let me show you for a quick second. It's kind of fun. I've got this pulled back to 8 a.m. on Saturday morning. We've got the moon at 10 degrees. We've got Jupiter at 10 degrees. Or Mars at 10 degrees and Jupiter at 10 degrees, which is kind of fun. And the moon is creating that sextile here at 8 a.m. to Jupiter, planet of expansion, and the quintile over here to Pluto. And then it's going to do, biquintile here to Saturn as well. So let's get into, let's talk about all what this stuff is. So first, what's interesting is around, the 10th degree, where we're going to start to feel this connections happening on. Is like a person drowning in the river. Okay. Now there's interesting aspects here. On one side, if the individual is just, life has just kind of carried them and they're in for this rung, it's understanding that somebody else is going to reach a hand out and is going to risk their own life to help you out. Okay. Now, this is our moon here in this connection, so this is an emotional need, okay? I might not know this individual. I might know this individual well, but there is a need to reach out, to extend my hand or my words, and speak or say something or do something to help my drowning friend or this drowning stranger out, right? Mars at the 10th degree, where it's going to be for a couple days here, it represents the need to listen to our own bodies, right? We are masculine and feminine. Our right is the masculine, our left is the feminine. We're a battery, right? A positive and negative. And it's just like our left and right, they balance our own balance. We can feel our imbalances in our body. There's a beautiful song by Nako and Medicine for the People. It's just like the body talks and meditation helps. And it's the truth, and the moon being an emotional space and being in the sign of Scorpio, reminding us to go within, that inward are the answers, not necessarily out here. Where Mars, our planet of action, is in the sense of seeking out here. So that's slightly contradictory. But again, it goes back to like asking opinions yet following your own truth, like we talked about a couple days ago. So receiving outside information, but yet at the same time, it's internally, I know what my, what this body needs, okay, how to balance it. Or maybe it's this situation where it's like, okay, we're seeking that chiropractor. Maybe, again, we're not talking about aligning the bones of the body. Again, use this analogy however it helps you out. To where it's just like, I realize that I do need something. There is some sort of an imbalance internally, right? And that I can seek out the help from another professional, higher knowledge, that individual that has studied years at this particular craft, if I need a surgery or whatever it is, or again, if it's a conversation with a wise friend, and then bringing that internal. And then this quintile that's happening over here to Pluto, it's about transformation and a creative way to find that transformation, right? A creative way to communicate this transformation, to bring it into life. Again, like referring back to the little, thing that I was dealing with here on Friday, is just like, again, one move, one word, and this conversation, because it was such a subtle energy, it could have just gone into an argument, and it's the last thing that I wanted, and I'm hoping it's the last thing the other individual wanted as well, because there is genuine care as well involved. So it's just like finding a creative way to use our words to bring this emotion, the energy and motion into our physical reality to help change us for the better, or to have that conversation, with speaking through our highest selves or being a reflection of the other's highest self, and to make a change for the better. And again, we're dealing with deep-rooted stuff with this moon in Scorpio. Now let me come back to the chart here. Oh, hello, phone. So we're gonna fast forward this a couple of hours here, right? And now we see, okay, our two quintiles here over to Pluto and to Saturn, where it's saying, like, let's make it real. Let's make it real. Whatever is going on, whatever energy that we're dealing with deep down inside, And we also have, this energy connecting over here to Venus. Venus is, this square, okay? There's knowledge, there's information, there's something that the body is telling us, okay, that we need to listen to for our own expansion, okay, to not be limited. So to receive this, really what we want to love and what we desire in our lives is achievable, following our hearts, following our truth here. That's where the North Node is telling us in that trine, and as well as trine to the moon, right? So there's an emotional need there. Let's see, that's a grand water trine if you come back a couple hours again. They're all connecting together. So a really, really powerful. Grand water trine, this is the most stable structure in nature, is an isosceles triangle, which can be beautiful in ways, and it can be stubborn, where water is very flowy. A grand water trine has powerful effects because you're connecting this spiritual unconscious, this caring and nurturing ability, as well as, these deep passions and desires, as well as it can say, like, my way is the only way. My emotional understanding and concept of this reality is the truth, because I'm not letting anybody else in to this emotion, right? So the water trine breaks a little bit later, as we were showing you here. And we getting this like, okay, whatever's going on, whatever we need to make it real. We need to take those steps and transform and use that transcendent power that we had with Pluto, bringing it into here to this connection with Saturn, saying like, yes, let's put the pressure on. Saturn again making the septile here to Neptune. Let's make our dreams a reality. And we have to, we have to do some of the dirty work sometimes, that deep work, in order to make that happen. And as our day progresses, now we're jumping over the moon quintile to the sun. And then then we see the septile begin to Jupiter. So what started early in the morning comes back as fate energy at the night, right? And we still have that quintile happening. And then now it's going to connect by 11 p.m., the moon quintile to Mercury. So Mercury being focused now on the future, on a vision of the future, a greater vision than what is currently available to us, as the moon's making its way through Scorpio and into Sunday. And it's like we've hitting all of these things in Capricorn, and it can be stubborn or hard. And again, it's just like we're dealing with a lot of water moving through the canyons, okay, slowly rounding out that hard edges of Capricorn, that Capricorn energy, okay, which can be, the stubborn goat at times, but it's big business as well, and it's just like Jupiter, where Jupiter's at this 10th degree, where it's creating the septile, our emotional needs here in Scorpio, deep down, quintile, we're thinking of a new way of the future, a new creative way to conquer. We have this sextile happening here to Pluto, to Saturn, okay? And the septile to Jupiter, what that's telling us, I know this is a lot. There's a lot of aisles in this video. But I mean, this is a lot of energy because there's a lot of creative energy. So that fate energy that's happening between the moon and Jupiter, Jupiter's in this place where it's just like, yes, we it's not just about small huts, but we can create skyscrapers. It's not just a small struggling business, but we can create a conglomerate. We can create a corporation, put lots of people to work. We can pool the right minds together, and we have all the resources available for us. And what's not here right now, we can bring in. You know what I mean? So there's a really powerful aspect to this. And it's funny because Jupiter, again, is confined within the limits of Capricorn, confined within the limits of Saturn. But it's saying on this particular space in time of understanding our expansion to be greater than the space that we're in, an understanding to expand beyond what we know is possible. Neptune in Pisces, creating the septile to Saturn in Capricornia. Again, this is reminding us that life can be greater than we ever thought possible if we open up, if we allow it to be, if we have our brain set on a vision for the future, not just in this repeating loop. Not just thinking like, oh, I'm going to drown out here and no one's going to save me, because the energy top of the morning is suggesting otherwise. Like, hey, yeah, in the times of, in your darkest hour, there's going to be somebody reaching a hand out, somebody with a candle, and that together we can create. And if we listen to ourselves, if we listen to our body, what our body needs, this Mars over here in Sagittarius, we can seek out the individual that can help us or help ourselves during this process, straighten our backs up or fix, go to the dentist. We carry so much stress in the jaw. We go to the doctor if we need to. It's just like we're thankful that these businesses like this exist right now and they're easily available for us, pretty much all across the world. I mean, you know what I mean? So there's a deep sense of like deep emotional energy that's coming up from the surface. We're shining the light on it. We're being asked to create with this energy. We do have the help of the universe connecting us along the way. Okay, we do have this, clay and water. We can form the clay with that little bit of water. You know what I mean? We can create something that was just a simple block, you know, or it's like taking that, like the watercolor, you know, you need to add the water into the paint, swirl it around, which was a solid paint at one point, solid Capricorn, you know, and then now we can create our painting, you know, and trusting ourselves, trusting our own hand, you know, trusting the body and trusting our mind, our imagination to see not just a blank white canvas, but a vision for what the painting is going to be. It's a beautiful Saturday. Okay. As always, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for the kind words of support. I appreciate you along the way of this journey. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful path. Beautiful day ahead of us. We'll see you tomorrow.